ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येद्माक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति न पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. This is the Shanti mantra of the Mandukya Upanishad, whose study we are going to do in this retreat. So we will have 4 intensive classes on the Mandukya Upanishad. Let me just read out the meaning of this Shanti mantra before we begin. Om Bhadram Karnebhi Shrunuyama Devaha. Karna is ears. May I hear that which is good and auspicious. May I see that which is good and auspicious. O shining ones, they are addressing the gods. Here gods are the small g, okay? The divine offices. And so you will see here in the Shanti mantra, with stable limbs and bodies, may we praise you, O gods. May we attain the life pleasing to the gods. May Indra of great fame bless us. May Pusha, the sun god, all knowing one, bless us. May Arishtanemi bless us. May Brihaspati bless us. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So initially it's a prayer to the gods, that our entire system may remain healthy and help us support this research, support this study. And may our entire senses be purified by focusing on that which is auspicious and good. Because this is a very important understanding. It is there even in the Chandogya Upanishad, that what you will see, what you will hear, it's going to become the content of your mind. Our mind will keep dwelling on those things which we will see, we will hear. We use the senses in this way. And what we take in through the senses, the intake, becomes the thoughts in our minds. So let me focus on that which is good and auspicious. Then our senses automatically are purified and they become luminous, fit for this study. Because the Upanishad study is not easy. Let me give you a good introduction to the Upanishads before we begin. The study of the Upanishads used to be reserved for those who are, extremely qualified in terms of spiritual life and spiritual practice, which means those who really want only this knowledge, totally committed to it, capable, clear-minded, concentrated. And you have heard of the Sadhan Chatushtay? Sadhan Chatushtay Sampanna Adhikari. I will not go into those basics because I think you all are acquainted with it already. One who has Vivek, Vairagya, Shat Sampati, the great 6 noble virtues, and Mumukshutvam, he is the qualified adhikari for Upanishadic knowledge. So you see, the very Shanti mantra is telling us, may our very senses take in what is auspicious and good, and may the gods help us to achieve the fruit of this study. May they keep their blessings on us. And this piece of literature, the Upanishads, why is it so precious? For the simple reason, it is the essence of the Vedas. The Vedic corpus of knowledge that we have, many of the mantras in the Vedas have to do with sacrificial rites, with an understanding of this cosmos, this universe as it appears to us, with an understanding of the nature of existential reality, truth about this, Satyam, what is the truth about this entire world, this existence, what is the nature of my own being. The entire Vedas are concentrated on these kinds of subjects. But the Upanishads, the knowledge portion of the Vedas, entirely focused on knowledge, self-knowledge. What is the nature of my own being? Who am I? What is the nature of human existence? What is the nature of my consciousness? These are the kinds of questions you will find here. So it's purely existential research. Please see the nature of existence itself. So, for those of us who have that kind of mind, many young people, I have seen that when they turn 13, 14, they ask these fundamental questions about life, not just about the objective world, about the subject. Who am I and why am I here? And where am I going? And is there a God? And then, if there is, then what is my relationship with Him? These are called existential questions. The fundamentals of our very existence are being questioned. So you will find a number of mantras in the Upanishads which are dealing with this kind of an inquiry. So they were put aside. You see, they became the knowledge portion, the Jnana Kanda of the Vedas, the Upanishadic portion, and they are called the very essence of the Vedas because they can encapsulate the very spirit of the Rishi in trying to understand the nature of the fundamental nature of life around us. Today, if you go to science, modern science also is asking fundamental questions, isn't it? Hmm? What is matter? What is energy? What is the nature of human consciousness? Same questions in a different format, that's all. And they are also seeking answers to this through the objective method, through the scientific method. And here they have done it through the philosophical method, the subjective method. Subjective inquiry and meditation are the means to the subjective research. And it is very scientific, let me tell you. Don't forget, all science arose from philosophy. It's the philosophical mind that makes science. The questioning mind, the inquiring mind, the real spirit of inquiry. So you see, fundamentally, they are asking this, the same thing which today's scientists are asking, same thing. Tell me the nature of this existence. How do I know the nature of my own consciousness? Who am I? What is the unchanging element within me? Does everything stop with death, or is there something that is carried on? What is the nature of the human being itself? This very basic inquiry, and this is so intense. So, this portion of the Vedas was put aside as the Jnana Kand, the knowledge portion, and this is what is called the Upanishads. Upanishad means sitting close to a teacher and acquiring this knowledge. Actually, it means this, what we are doing in Pangot. It is important to sit close to someone and discuss this. For the simple reason, why? We keep hearing all sorts of things. Let us hear something about our own true nature, our own being. So the knowledge is entirely about that. So Upanishadic knowledge, it is the very cream and essence of Vedic thought, the essence of the Vedas. That's why it is called Vedant. Vedon ka ant. Ant means not end, it means essence. The actual essence of the Vedas. And if you take a deep dive into this, I'm telling you, you won't remain the same anymore. For the simple reason, it's to do with our consciousness. That gets transformed automatically. Just a deep dive into Upanishads. And this Mandukya Upanishad, I can't tell you its glory. Every day after our meditations, this is what we do. Deep dive into Mandukya or something like this. There's a wonderful commentary on this Mandukya Upanishad written by Gaudapada Acharya. You must have heard the name. Shankara's guru's guru was Gaudapad. Paramaguru, which means it's such a I can't tell you, deep commentary on this Mandukya Upanishad. Mandukya Upanishad is very short, only 12 mantras, but most profound Upanishad. And amongst all these Upanishads, see, there are more than actually 300 Upanishads. But 108 usually if you go to, if you ask internet, Google for example, how many Upanishads are there, they'll give you the number 108. There are actually much more than that. But amongst these 108 also, 11 have been commented upon by Shankaracharya. There are commentaries by Shankaracharya. So that's the best way to understand the Upanishad. So these are called principal Upanishads. You must have heard the names: Isha, Kena, Katha, Aitareya, Taitiriya, Chandogya, Brihadaranyaka. and Mandukya, all these Mundaka, all these are the principal Upanishads which have commentaries by Shankaracharya. Even Shvetara Upanishad, some people include in this list. Some people leave it out. Anyway, for us, what is going to matter is the deep study of Mandukya Upanishad in this retreat. It comes from the Atharva Veda. And the glory of this Upanishad is it has got one Mahavakya. Mahavakya means one great sentence, which is the summary, you can say, of everything they are trying to understand about the soul and God. The relationship between the Jivatman and the Paramatman, or between the self and the cosmic reality, that equation has been given here. Ayamatma Brahma comes from the Mandukya Upanishad. This Atman is verily Brahman. The self is of the nature of Brahman, the ultimate truth of this universe. So this comes in one of the mantras, the second mantra of Mandukya Upanishad. So it's very, very important, this Upanishad. See, it's a principal Upanishad. You have a huge commentary, which really, you read that commentary, it has tremendous impact on all of us, this commentary. Mandukya Karika, it is called, Gaudapada's commentary. And Shankaracharya himself has commented both upon the Upanishad and upon the Mandukya Karika. So a vast corpus of literature on this is available to us straight from the masters who were established in this knowledge. And the mantras are only 12 in number. You see, small Upanishad, but so profound. What they are trying to say is really beyond human imagination, I'm telling you. And the way they are coming to it, See, each Upanishad has a speciality. Each Upanishad will give you certain key words which are extremely incisive. They will give you the deepest insight of the Rishi. Mandukya Upanishad also is giving you certain keywords. It is going to give you two important techniques for making this research. One is called Omkar Upasana, or you can say Vichar, Omkar Vichar, and the second is Avasthatraya Vichar. These are the two important techniques which the Mandukya Upanishad uses to take us into self-knowledge. And these techniques have been explained very briefly, but then when you go to the Karika and all, they are expanded. And a lot of things are brought out. Very luminous, I would say, verses are there on these mantras of the Mandukya Upanishad. All we have to do is deep dive. See, the way to study the Upanishad is, first of all, a meditative state of mind, not the restless state which we usually have. A calm mind, a concentrated mind. After your meditation hours, when awareness is high, then you go into this. It's the best way. So morning hours, I request you, see here it's so calm, quiet, cold in the mornings. Do this. After a good meditation, 1 hour, 1.5 hours, now you go into this. You'll see suddenly it makes so much of sense. It's giving you so much. This is the way to study the Upanishad. And otherwise it won't make much sense. I'm telling you, you just flip through the pages, some kind of abstract thinking, it will appear like that. See, most of Indian philosophy was not born of mere thinking. It was born of meditation. After a real period of meditation, when you sit down, what will come to your mind will be this kind of, it's insightful thinking. It is of the nature of an insight. You suddenly understand some things which were not obvious when you were just thinking. So Upanishadic knowledge is like that. They are insights. Of whom? Of rishis. These people also were not ordinary people. Just anyone on the street cannot get this insight. See, this is what I'm trying to point out to. Who is a rishi? Traditionally, it is called mantra drashta, which means one who has realized the truth about these mantras, realized the truth by himself. That is why he can immediately relate and give forth such a mantra. He is a rishi, the realized one, the realized mind, you can say. The one who has awakened into a higher insight into the very nature of his consciousness. He is a rishi, a sage, one who knows by experience. He has not borrowed it from somewhere. He knows by himself. This is the value of this piece of literature. It is the product of the rishi mind. So you see, they don't tend to leave their names because the very nature of this research is it dissolves the individual. So you don't have who wrote which Upanishad. Still, there is a name for Mandukya Upanishad. They have researched and found out that there was a rishi called Mandukya, and what he gave out is the Mandukya Upanishad. Mandukya, actually, one of the meanings of Mandukya is frog. Because in this Upanishad, there is a leap from the Jagrat to Swapna, Swapna to Sushupti, and into Turiya. Yes, a leap in consciousness. Here I'm not using absolute consciousness, I'm using our understanding of consciousness. So because of that, this has been given the name Mandukya Upanishad. You can say it like that. But frankly speaking, no rishi left his name under any Upanishad for the simple reason it is impersonal truth which they discovered. The very nature of my consciousness is impersonal. What name will they leave? So this utter detachment and deep spirit of inquiry, solid intelligence, and intelligence committed to truth characterized these people. And how far back was this research? See, Atharva Ved, this is. These Upanishads go back to more than 5,000 years. Actually, Indian scholars place it even at 8,000 years. Rigved comes from 8,000 years back. So it is the oldest, you can say, manuscript available to us on the planet. And they are doing this kind of research. See, no scientific instruments and equipment at that time. Just through the philosophical mind, through meditative awareness, they are understanding the deepest truths of existence. Isn't this a glorious thing? Tell me how they are coming to this. It takes a certain caliber even to understand this. See, the very nature of our own being, they are describing. So if anybody can relate to it. Don't think Upanishads belong to the Himalayas, to Uttarakhand. No, no, no. They are so universal because they are to do with human consciousness. Anyone can relate with it. Anyone can immediately relate to it. You know, Schopenhauer, all these philosophers, how beautifully they have spoken of the Upanishads. He would say, they are the solace of my life and they will remain the solace of my death. Such a masterpiece of literature on this planet we have. For the simple reason it is to do with the truth about me, my own being, the unchanging truth about me. What can be more fascinating than this? Tell me. So this is the Upanishad. And Mandukya Upanishad, its glory is, another Upanishad called Muktika Upanishad says, Mandukya ekameva alam mumukshunam vimuktaye. Mandukyam alone is sufficient for the liberation of the real mumukshu. This one Upanishad is enough. It's so deep, so profound. So if we can catch the real essence of it, it will take us into self-knowledge directly. This is the glory of this Upanishad. So let us approach it with that kind of a very reverential attitude of Shraddha, what we say. It is something really life transforming. And the beauty of this Upanishad is there are two Vichara techniques, Omkar Vichar and Avasthatraya Vichar. Very compactly they have given these two techniques. And each one, there's great beauty in each one of these techniques. Each one is telling us something very special. You see, let me go straight into the Upanishad now. Go to the very first mantra. Hari Om. Om iti etad aksharamidam sarvam tasyopakya vyakhyanam bhutam bhavad bhavishyaditi sarva omkara eva yat cha anyat trikalatītam tad api omkara eva. This is the first mantra. Word meaning is very simple. Hari Om. Om, the word is all that there is. Om iti etad aksharam idam sarvam. It is everything. A clear explanation of it is as follows. Upakhyanam, we are going to do now. An explanation of it. All that is past, present and future. Bhutam bhavad bhavishyat iti sarvam omkara eva. Everything is verily Om. That which is beyond the triple conception of time is also truly Om. Now we will deep dive into this. Why Omkar Vichar? And why are they saying this, that everything is indeed Om? What is within time, within space, beyond space, within causality, outside causality, everything is Om. And the very nature of this universe is Om. Past, present, future, everything is Om. Omkara vicharena jagat vichara pratipadyate or sampadyate. It is described like this, which means if you penetrate into the significance of Om, everything about this manifest universe will become clear to you. This is the Omkar Vichar or Upasana technique given here. Just by knowing the essence of Om, you will know the nature of this manifest universe and everything about it. The science of the universe spread around us, you can know by penetrating into Om, he's saying. The Rishi is saying. Now, how do we do that? What does Om exactly signify? It is a sound symbol of Brahman, isn't it? In the Vedas, there are symbols used to describe the ultimate cosmic reality, the infinitude of pure consciousness. Brahman, what is called, the infinite one, Brihatvad Brahman, the vast one, the one who is of the very nature of existence, consciousness, and bliss, who is indescribable, who is not available to our senses, not even to our mind, but ever present reality of consciousness is manifest as this word. And how to know it? By Omkar Upasana. Om signifies or symbolizes the ultimate truth of this universe. This is what they are saying. So if you penetrate into Om, you will know everything. How do we penetrate into Om? This is the Omkar Upasana. If you even keep chanting Om for some time, continuously if you keep chanting Om, this kind of continuous chanting you keep doing, automatically you will see your mind dissolves away. That is the significance of Om. What remains over? You just become intensely aware. It resolves the mind, or you can say dissolves the mind away to bring forth awareness. That is the nature of Omkar Upasana. That is why it is called Anahata Dvani, the unstruck sound, which is the very nature of Brahman, the very nature of this existence, ever perpetually going on. If you just practice it, you will know what it leads to. And that is why he is saying all this manifest universe is verily Om. Have you practiced Omkar Upasana, any of you? Yes. See, for long periods of time, Om chanting can be practiced. At least 15-20 minutes, half an hour. Continuously you keep chanting Om, you will feel the intense silence it produces. And that is how it leads to awakening directly. Omkar Upasana. Later on, he will be telling us more about this Upasana, but in this mantra, all that they are trying to indicate is that this manifest world is deeply connected with the ultimate reality symbolized by Om. So, Om is verily everything that there is. And Om is the way to Brahman, Brahmagyan. Om is the way. See, in our Puranas, this was converted into a story. Let me just tell you the story here. It says that, Mother Parvati in Kailash, so she one day called both her sons, Ganesh and Kartikeya, and told them that she wanted to give a prize to one who would circumambulate the entire universe thrice. So thrice he had to go around the universe, and whoever comes first will get a prize from her, and the prize was a beautiful diamond necklace. The story goes like this, that as soon as he heard this, Kartikeya jumped on his Vahan, which is the peacock, and started on his long tour. So he had to do pradakshin of the entire universe 3 times. And he immediately sped away, but Ganeshji would not move. And his Vahan is the mouse. So he and the mouse were both there. And then after Kartikeya had finished 2 rounds of the entire universe, Mother Parvati asked him, "Don't you want to even try? You should try to go around. Who knows, you may win the diamond necklace. At least try to go around." And so then what Ganesh did was, he sat on his mouse and he circumambulated Lord Shiva, who was sitting there in meditation, Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati. He circumambulated them 3 times and came and stood before them. Now, when Kartikeya came there after speeding through the entire universe thrice, and challenged Ganesh, saying that I have won the bet because I went around the entire universe 3 times. And Ganeshji said, "I went around Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati." So they are the parents, as you know, of Ganesh and Kartikeya. And he said that Lord Shiva symbolizes the self, which includes the whole universe. You see, the microcosm, macrocosm built on the same plan. It symbolizes the self, symbolizes the whole universe. And I went around them, who are the highest manifestation of consciousness and energy, the divine energy of the universe and pure consciousness itself. So it is equivalent to circumambulating the whole world. And I went around them thrice and I came first. So the story goes that ultimately Ganesh got the prize. He got the beautiful necklace. The story only illustrates that if you get self-knowledge, it is equivalent to getting knowledge of the entire world. Why? The entire perception of the cosmos starts with the self, isn't it? It is in the light of the self that anything is perceived or known. So this is called the Ganesha method in our Puranas, when the method is actually knowing the entire universe by knowing the self. And the other method is the Kartikeya method, the method of science, you can say, where you are studying objects apart from the self, when you're trying to study them perfectly objectively without any reference to the self. So this story is a beautiful illustration of these concepts. The necklace. Now you see, actually Ganeshji is talking so much of sense. The very essence of this universe is consciousness, symbolized by Shiva. How do we see Lord Shiva? Ever sitting in meditation, absorbed within himself. Obviously, he's a symbol of pure consciousness. Only one who is pure consciousness himself can remain in that all the time, isn't it? And in essence, our own nature also is that. We don't know it, that's all. Isn't it? Shivoham means this. Our own nature is of the nature of infinite Brahman. But we don't know it just now. So we appear like jivas, little individual entities attached to a body and mind. So Lord Ganesh says this, that the whole universe I have circumambulated 3 times, because all that is the universe is consciousness and energy, Shiva and Shakti. And he gets the necklace. So this is the Ganesh method. If you get self knowledge, automatically Jagat Pratipadyate. You get the knowledge of the entire world. But if there's no self knowledge, we can go all over. And how much of satisfaction and fulfillment and knowledge will we get? Tell me. Hmm? You can say in brief, this is the method of spirituality and the method of science, the subjective and the objective method. You go all over and you see how much you will get, or you just go within yourself and see how much you will get. It's for you to find out. But don't think these two are divergent things. This very essence of consciousness is manifest as this universe. So ultimately, you see, all science will come to spirituality. Spirituality will mingle with science. In fact, Vivekananda very much wanted that, because we hold spirituality to be the science of consciousness. Right? So you see, this is the idea which they are trying to put before us. If you dive deep into Omkar Upasana, you will come to the understanding of this entire reality, the manifest universe and the unmanifest universe. It is called Karya Prapancha and Karana Prapancha. See, in the commentaries, they will give you all these words, which means this manifest world and the unmanifest world, Prakriti, Purusha, it will give you knowledge of that also. What will give you knowledge? Omkar Vichar, Omkar Upasana. The very nature of this Upasana is it will help you it will give you deep insight into the nature of reality, both manifest and unmanifest. And this is actually the Ganesh method. The Kartikeya method is to go all over, but he doesn't get the goal, doesn't get the gift also. That is why self-knowledge is so important. The whole insistence here is knowledge of the self. What's the point in knowing everything and not knowing who I am? Tell me. So the whole point here is turning this equipment in such a way inward. That is why the Upasana, Omkar Upasana, and getting self-knowledge. Another thing, let me tell you here. See, the mantra itself says it. Go back to the first mantra and you see. Yacha anyat kalatitam tad api omkara eva. Even what is beyond time, space and causation, what your mind can, what functions within the framework of your mind, what your mind can wrap around, it's even beyond that. Now, do you agree mind has limits? There are epistemic limits even to the mind. How much you can know depends on factors in your mind, right? So even what is beyond our mind, because you see there are limits to the mind, there's something called a knowable universe and an unknowable universe, isn't it? In today's science. So our mind itself has limits. And if you actually go to the great theorems of mathematics, they have also come to this. Quantum mechanics also has come to this. We have limits. Mind, knowing, the very process of knowing itself has limits. But this Upasana will take you beyond those limits. This is what he's saying. Which means the ultimate knowledge of truth is not within your mind. You cannot know it through a vritti. There is no such process by which, mental process by which you can know it. Then why are we doing the technique? Because it will take you beyond mind. The technique itself will usher you into awareness rather than a thought process. So you become Kalatita, you go beyond time, space and causation, which are nothing but the parameters your mind uses to cognize, to know. You cross that limit, you go beyond that. This is what they are saying. See, if any of you have studied Gödel's theorem, you will understand this. Knowledge itself has limits, what we call our normal way of knowing. You can't go beyond that limit. So we are bound to only know within that limit. Do you know in these philosophical systems how they have studied knowledge? It's very interesting. The epistemology of knowledge is very interesting. We must know something about it to understand the value of techniques like these. See, when you have to know any object, there is a knower He is called the Pramata in standard terminology in Vedant. He is the knower, is called the Pramata. There's a method of knowing called Praman, and the object of knowledge is called Prameyam. So Pramata knows the Prameyam through the Praman. But when the Prameyam happens to be self, Atman, you cannot adopt an objective process like this. The triad of knowledge collapses, right? You cannot have a Praman, because now what is going to happen is the light of your awareness is not turned outward. It's not going to reflect off the mind, create a vritti. The vritti is going to bring in the idea of the object, and your consciousness illumines it, and the brain somehow produces that knowledge. That cannot happen, because now the object under investigation is self, the Atman. So this normal process of perception and knowing collapses. So then what is the technique? How do I know the self? The mind has to turn inward. And some such technique, Omkar Upasana, Avasthatraya Upasana, this must be adopted. This is what they are trying to say. The triad of knowledge cannot be used in this case. Are you understanding? See, all philosophies actually speak of this kind of a triad of knowledge. A subject knowing an object through a particular method. But here, there is no knowing an object, because you are trying to know the self. It's not an object, isn't it? It's my own being. So then how do I know it? So automatically you're going to reverse the process. This very mind, if purified and cleansed and turned inward, it will reflect the light of the Atman. It cannot catch that light, but it will reflect, give you some glimpse of it, some insight into it. And finally, it will also move aside, and Brahmavid Brahmaiva Bhavati. You become verily what you always were. So this is the general process of Brahma Vidya. But the method being used is this Omkar Upasana, Omkar Vichar, and Avasthatraya Vichar. So everything that they are going to tell us in this mantra has deep implications. Please see. Methodology is being outlined. Now go into the second mantra there. Sarvam hetad Brahma, ayam Atma Brahma, soyam Atma Chatushpad. All this is verily Brahman. This Atman is Brahman, and this Atman has 4 quarters. Chatushpad. Sarvam etad Brahma. All this is verily Brahman. See, this is like a refrain in the Upanishads. All these Upanishads are always saying this. Everything that you see is verily Brahman. What is the meaning of this sentence? I am seeing separate objects, disparate entities, and they are saying everything is one thing only. What do they mean by this? So to understand this, Sarvam Hetad Brahma, they will give us examples, illustrations. They'll say that you have heard of these common examples, I'm sure. Just like how everything is, whether you take a pot or a ladle or whatever, a jar, in those days everything was made out of clay. Pottery is found in all ancient civilizations. So everything as it is made of clay, so also this manifest universe is actually made of nothing but Brahman. It is Brahman manifesting as, actually if you take a pot, it is not apart from clay, isn't it? It's clay in a particular form and name. There's nothing called pot apart from clay. There's nothing called potness apart from clay. It has no separate identity. Think and see. It's an assumption. Our mind gives identities. Same applies to you. Yes, we are, see, body is like a pot. But actually speaking, investigate if I am the body. I have a body, that's fine. I'm wearing a body. But I am a body has no basis in truth. Isn't it? And then you feel you have a body. Body is mine, but I am not the body. Please understand these ideas. This is everyone's experience. Body is an object of perception, it is an object of experience, and it is something in through which I am sort of working. But I am the body idea requires real investigation. We assume many things. Our so called entire identity is like this: I am the mind. It cannot be, because I can watch my mind. I can change my mind. I can change my thoughts. So, obviously, what they are trying to say is everything that you say, I, investigate and see. Put it aside if it's not you. It belongs to you, but it's not you. Isn't it a fantastic way of thinking? Tell me. I wear a body, I have a body, but I am not the body. This is Vedanta. Directly pointing into the nature of existence. We are of the nature of Sat Chit Ananda Swarup. But expression is through a body, manifesting through a body. So body belongs to me, but I am not the body. I have a body, I am not the body. To understand this idea, so also this entire world of objects, they are appearances of one consciousness. Just like how I appear as so and so, but actually I am only the Atman manifesting as so and so. So also is every object only the Atman manifesting as that particular object. Just like how the pot is only clay appearing in a name and form as a pot. Isn't it? This is how they have tried to think throughout the Upanishad. Another thing they will example they will give you is, suppose you are wearing ornaments. You have a necklace, you have rings, earrings. They are all made of gold. Now, if you say, well, this is a necklace, but I am in search of gold. The necklace is gold only. Or rather, gold is appearing as the necklace. Isn't it? It's truer to say gold is appearing as the necklace, not that the necklace has gold. This is Vedant. Consciousness, Brahman is appearing as this world. Not that, this world has something hazy called Brahman in it. No. Brahman alone is appearing as name and form, objects, everything that we think as separate entities. It's all Brahman. Appearances are given by the mind, name and form. Right? If I say, well, necklace is there and ring is there and all this ornaments are there, but I want gold separately. Will you find it separate from all this? So also, if we are thinking Brahman is separate from this, God is separate from all this, and I will find it somewhere apart from this, you won't find it. Vivekananda used to say this, that don't seek God, see God. He is verily there where you are seeking. He alone is. It's not that there is water in the wave. Water alone is appearing as the wave. So all appearances are of this kind, imbued with a name and form, appearing like separate identities. There's nothing like that. There's one substance manifesting as this entire picture in front of us, and that is Brahman. So you see, the refrain of the Upanishad is Sarvam Brahmamayam. Everything is only Brahman. The Vedantins will put it like this: Drishti Jnanamayam Kritva Pashed Brahmamayam Jagat. Everything is Brahman, see it as it is. You must be able to see gold in the ornament. See, for your jeweler, there is no ornament, there's only gold there. He weighs everything by the price of gold. But for you, it's a precious ornament, because it will look like this on me, it will look like that on me. This is how we think. Through our conditioned minds. Actually, it's only gold. Only the value of gold is what matters there. So, Sarvam Hetad Brahma and I am Atma Brahma. What you are calling myself, capital S, that is also not apart from Brahman. That is verily Brahman. It appears as a self. See, you're not body and mind, then what are you? You're the Atman, you're the self. Actually speaking, there's no localized consciousness. It's not that there's a body within which there's a mind, within which there's a self. It's only in your awareness that you will find body and mind. Am I right? It is only in your awareness that you will find your body and mind and this world, this universe around you. Yes. And this, everything happens in awareness. Everything is already existing in awareness. And you're thinking also in awareness. You're thinking of awareness in awareness. Please see. And that's why awareness is not another thought. It is the fundamental of existence. Right? So this is, I told you, to know the Upanishad, you must concentrate deeply on what is being said. I am Atma Brahma. What you are calling self is verily Brahman. They are not two things. That is why this is a Mahavakya. The connection between the truth of my own being and the cosmic reality of the universe, the infinite Brahman, this is being shown here. This is the equation. Yourself is verily cosmic consciousness, divine consciousness, whatever you call it. Brahman today is popularly called God. Right? In the Vedic age, they used to call it Brahman, the truth of this universe, the infinite consciousness. They used to call it by these names. Today we call it God. But the essence of your being and the essence of this universal truth is not different. This is what they are saying. There's an element of divinity within us. In fact, you are Brahman appearing as the Jiva. That is the actual truth. You are Brahman appearing as so and so. Just like how clay was appearing as the pot. There's nothing called pot separately, apart from clay. So this point we have to digest. That is why this refrain, again and again. Sarvam etad Brahma, ayam Atma Brahma, and soyam Atma Chatushpat. And what you are calling this Atman, myself, capital S, this has 4 quarters. Now next they will be taking us into those quarters. What is the meaning of 4 quarters? There are 4 ways in which you experience this light of the Atman. 4 quarters it has. So what these 4 quarters are, the next mantra will be telling us. But in this mantra, a lot has been packed, as you can see. Tremendous truth has been packed into this mantra. All that they are trying to tell us is reality of existence is non-dual. There's only one thing. See, I can say that, you see, the ornaments spread in front of us. Suppose I told you all those ornaments were there here. I can say actually each ornament is non-dual with respect to the other because its essence is the same, isn't it? This is what they are saying. Advait means this much only, that the essence is non-dual. There's no duality there. There's no subject-object. It's all subject. All Brahman. It's appearing as object. See, if the necklace could talk to the bangle, you know what it would say? Are yaar, jo aap ho, wahi main hu. We are one. To you, the wearer, it appears as different. But if those pieces of ornaments could talk to each other, they would know they are all one. It's only gold appearing as a bangle, appearing as a necklace, made into those forms. Form, name, function are different, but the essence is only one. So also consciousness, Brahman, is only one, appearing in so many different forms, under so many different names. So the essence of our being is only one. See, if you look deeply into the eyes of another person, you will see yourself reflected there. The light in another eye is my own light of awareness. Check it out and see. Look deeply into the eyes of your child. Your own light you will see there. It's the light of your awareness. Every eye reflects the light of awareness, which is the same in all of us. The one consciousness manifesting through so many bodies and minds. Hmm? So we must feel the truth of this deeply. Just now you may think, oh, we are thinking about it. But when you think about reality, you become reality. That's the power of human thought. Vichar marga means this. Vedanta vichar. You're beginning with the mind, with a thought of the mind, but it's taking you into self. If you make the thought your own, you will become that. So this is what is going to happen with this Upanishad. Just dwelling on the nature of reality as it appears to me. Just now I feel I am, different from you. Body and mind are different, not the self. One consciousness. You see how elevating the whole thing is. Huh? That's why Upanishad has the power to simply lift our minds. Actually speaking, there is no duality. That is why anything happening to anyone, in some way it affects you. It's not just the mirror neurons. Awareness is the same. Right? This is the very basis of sympathy, empathy. Vivekananda pointed this out. He would say the oneness of the soul, that is the sanction of morality in this universe. That is why you feel anybody's sorrow, you feel it. You can feel it in your own system. Anybody's joy also you can feel. Because there's only one existence, appearing as many. So the more we feel this, the more spiritual we'll become. This is the truth. Vivekananda, these great ones had the power to feel like this. Somewhere an earthquake has happened and Vivekananda's entire, being would shudder. He knows it already before it came out in the news. You have read these incidents in Swamiji's life? Because there is that ekatma bhav, one being manifesting through so many forms. Right here, we are close to Kakri Ghat, right? There, when Vivekananda was meditating under a tree on the banks of the river there, he had this tremendous experience of, he burst out in tears after his meditation. And he told his brother disciple that, do you know, this has been one of the most profound moments of my life where I have understood the unity of the microcosm and the macrocosm. There is only one truth manifesting as at the micro level, and we call it the Atman, the self, or whatever you call it. And at the macro level, you're calling it God. But it's only one thing, non-duality, Advait, which means there's no duality there. It appears to be dual. One of the closest examples I can give you again is, see, at the moment of birth, mother and child, that deep non-duality sense is there. She feels it's she herself, an extension of her, the baby. Isn't it? Like that, for a realized soul, the entire universe becomes like that. Ekatma bodh means this. The essence of my being is everything. So you see, this is the, you can say, culmination of Hindu philosophical thought, that actually speaking, there are no two. There's only one. And even to think of it, it just expands your mind like anything. Think and see. See, these are the places where you can convert these mantras into meditations. Dwell deeply on that. Now it will impact our own minds, our own inner being. You'll feel the oneness of everything here. And it's not a kind of sentimental affair, It's not about emotionally bringing in an idea of oneness. No. It is we must learn to think and understand without an iota of emotion. Upanishad path, the path of knowledge, is like that. Because you're going deep into existence, you're going beyond mind. You can't bring in emotional drama there. It's not psychological reality that we are trying to discern. It's existential truth. So it will take you beyond mind. And this penetration is perfectly possible through these mantras. You just dwell on them, you taste something of what the Rishi is experiencing. That's the beauty of it. So this is the Upanishad. We will proceed with the mantras further on. But today I wanted to do only these two mantras for the simple reason Omkar Upasana is to be practiced. To come to this level of realization and understanding, the Omkar Vichar must happen. Later on, he is going to give us more ideas on this Omkar Vichar. He relates it to each of the states of mind, Jagrat, Swapna and Sushupti. The three letters of Om, he relates it with that and tells us how the silence after Omkar is Turiya, Turiyam, pure being, the self. But unless you practice the Omkar Upasana, how will you feel the truth of this? It's not an intellectual idea. Remember, realization is not ideation. It's not a mentation. It's not a vritti of your mind. Realization means actual pure being. It is actual dissolving into the very nature of your existence. You can only be it, you cannot know it. Knowing requires subject-object. I told you the triad of knowledge. So you cannot know the self, you can be the self. That's why techniques are important. Through a technique, you become the self. But you cannot know it. Objects you can know, isn't it? The self is not an object. So then the technique is to be practiced. In our own order, I can tell you this. Many sadhus have practiced Omkar Upasana. They have heard Om continuously happening. See, the beauty of this reality is whether you practice or not, it is perpetually going on. Omkar is the background. Today they have found there's a background radiation to the universe, which is ever on, ever there, ever present reality, and that they call Om. So I don't know if you have heard of Shantananji Maharaj. He was a direct disciple of the Holy Mother. He was always in such an enhanced state of awareness. See, these words are not right from the Advaitic standpoint, but for our understanding, I can use words like this, which means to say his awareness had blossomed forth in such a way, he was always hearing Om. Everything else is noise to them, Only Om is real. And anybody coming to him with a question or whatever, he would say, shh, listen, can you hear? It's going on. Shuno, he would say. The Omkar is going on all the time. This long drawn out Om, Anahata, he could hear. The first president of Sharda Mat also, Bharti Pranamataji, she had this experience. She would hear Om in Kashi at midnight. It's perpetually going on. The noise in our minds doesn't allow us to hear it. So here you try it out. Quieten the mind, sit up and do Omkar Upasana for some time, 15 minutes. You see, you will start hearing the Om. Then you no more have to do it, repeat it. You just hear it. At that moment, check and see the state of your being, awareness. You are not in a thought process, no emotion, nothing, no mind, just deeply aware. That is the purpose of this technique. I just am. That is the experience. Amness, existence. Are you getting this? The purpose of Om chanting is this. So, technique is to be adopted. Don't dismiss techniques. We will be wise fools if we dismiss techniques. There are some people who say this, you are already that, so don't bother about the technique. Stick to the technique. And then you will understand you're already there, automatically. That respect you have to pay to the method. See, Shankaracharya himself says, in many of his commentaries it is there, even after realization, he says, even after Nirvikalpa Bodha, you must stick to devotion to your Ishtadevata, to the Guru, and to your, Nitya Karmas, Your duties in life, you must stick to that. So remember this. Let us give things the importance they deserve. These techniques are going to take us into this ultimate knowledge. So you give it that respect, the technique will work for you. So this is the lesson for today. Omkar Upasana is to be practiced. Long drawn out Om chanting. Now for the next 5 minutes, we will do it here. Try to see what happens as a result. Long drawn out Om. See how automatically you will become deeply aware from within, and mind has gone now somewhere. It doesn't trouble you anymore. Check it out. Come on, sit straight, all of you. Any Upasana technique, it requires, yes, a proper posture first. Keep the spine erect and deepen your breath. That's all you have to do in terms of pranayam. Deep breathing. And now you can repeat after me. But first, just listen how we are going to repeat the first Om. Louder, do it louder.
Just watch your state of mind now. Just watch your mind, see the silence. Look at the level of awareness. See how empty the mind feels. No thought process, but you have become deeply aware. This is the beauty of the technique. Now we will slowly open our eyes. Did you feel the silence? With Om chanting? That silence is Turiyam, he says. It is the deep awareness that is produced within you. I won't say awareness of something, awareness of the self. No, no, no. Just becoming deeply aware without an object. That is what is called consciousness. Om chanting will usher you into that. A long drawn out Om done for some amount of time, at least 10-15 minutes you should do it. And then just hear it and just feel the full, deepening of your awareness. This is the Omkar Upasana. Om is the word, symbol universally used and by many religions. Only for this reason, it encapsulates a lot. It is Shabda Brahman, the very symbol of the infinite, and it has the power to usher our mind into the state of pure awareness. See, all this expression is insufficient actually. Your mind, we are taking it to be real and thinking that a technique like this will, remove mind and usher us into. Your mind never was. You're trying to give context to your thought process and calling it mind. All that this technique does is now it removed that thought process. So there's no more mind. Only the pure awareness that you are will come to the forefront. That's all. So we will become as we always are and were. So this is the value of the technique. So we will conclude the class here today. Practice Omkar Upasana while you are here. It will help in the study of Mandukya Upanishad. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.